Hey guys, welcome to Crazy Days. Today just a short little video on stretching the 6 biscuits into 12. Now almond flour is pretty expensive. It's a lot more expensive than your regular flour, and I have a recipe. I'm going to try and put it in the cards up here, but I'm going to try and tell you and not leave something out what I put in here. But I usually make Danny 6 biscuits out of this recipe. But today, I'm stretching it to make 12. What I usually do, I'm going to wet my hands because they just roll up better when you have wet hands. Usually it is 3 cups of almond flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we add a 1/4 cup of sugar, and that's optional. You don't have to add the sugar. I take 4 tablespoons of butter, and I cut it in little bitty chunks, and you can see the butter in this. I cut it in chunks, and then I take my hands and I mash it in like you're cutting in. You can use a pastry cutter, I guess. And then when I get that done, I get it all mixed in together with my hands. I add 3 eggs and mix it all together. Then to stretch it, that makes usually 6 biscuits. Today, if you can see the blueberries, I added Deep South blueberries. Deep South blueberries, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of blueberries added to that recipe doubles it. It makes 2 pans, which is 12 biscuits. And again, I'm wetting my hands so that I can do this and it doesn't stick. And I just make them into little small biscuits. We're going to pop them in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes. Check them. If they're lightly brown, I take them out because Danny likes to heat one up for breakfast. So he doesn't want them overdone. So when they start browning really, really good, and I know they're done at 15 to 18 minutes, I take them out. Everybody's oven may be a little bit different, but that's what I cook them at. So guys, that is my recipe. I will show you when they come out of the oven. And Danny likes these for snacks. Is one reason I've started making more of them. They're not just breakfast anymore. He eats them as snacks.
Do you oil the pans?
Yes. Always grease your pan before you put them in, and I roll them out and lay them in there. Don't mash them down in there like you would a regular biscuit, because lots of times it will stick to the bottom of your pan and then you can't get them to flip out. Just roll them around, like I said, with wet hands and put them in a greased pan. Okay, my biscuits are out of the oven, and you can see I've got different sizes because I'm not that good at keeping them proportionate. But I take them out and put them on a cooling rack. And this one, the berries did want to stick. I had a spot or 2, but I take my fork and run around the edges and loosen it. And usually they come right on up. Like I've got one spot there. I'll try to get them all on. That one came up really nice. If the berries don't get on the bottom, they come up just like they're supposed to. But see, I had a couple that had berries touch. But that is how you take 6 biscuits, almond flour, when it costs so much, turn it into 12. Guys, I'll put the link to the original recipe, hopefully, up here. And Danny's fixing to eat. Thank you guys from Crazy Days.